Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. I am Zia Hamid. I welcome you to English grade 8 video lessons. So now as you know, we are dealing with our unit number 4. The title is The Wise and the Wicked. We are going to deal with our competency of grammar, and this is our lecture number 1 with the topic of transitional devices. Now, let's read our students' learning outcome to see that what we are supposed to do and how we are going to achieve it by the end of our lesson. So, our students' learning outcome is examine and interpret the use of conjunctions and transitional devices in speech and writing to create the effect. We will be examining, learning, and also interpreting the use of conjunctions and transitional devices. Here in this video lesson, my dear learners, we are specifically dealing with transitional devices, and conjunctions will be covered in any other upcoming lesson. So we will be seeing it in both our speech and our writing to create the effect to keep our writing organized and in a very good sequence so that the reader knows what is happening and the time or what comes first and then later to create the effect that everything is written in a well organized way. So we will be dealing with transitional devices in our speech and our writing. Here is a vertical linkage of our SLO with the previous grade that you have already covered. Now, let's talk about our very quick brainstorming activity. Since we are talking about transitional devices, they include transitional words. So here before you is a passage. Now you have to guess the missing words, and the first letter is given as a hint. So can you pause the video, read this passage and see that what missing word is going to be put in the right place. Now, good. Here is the answer. So let's go through it. First, then, lastly, all these are our transitional devices, and they are words that is telling us that how the story is going, what is happening first and then later, or all the transitions from one sentence to another or from one passage to the other one. So I hope you got the answers right. If not, then read that again and come up with the correct answer. Now, let's move on to our topic, which is about transitional devices. They are also called our linking words or connective devices. So, whether you call it transitional devices or transitional words, they are serving the same purpose. They link our writing and our speech together, and it gives a smooth transition and moving from one thing to another so that the reader or the listener is very much clear that how things are happening. Now, from your page 31 of the book, do you remember that transitional devices are words or phrases that help carry a thought from one sentence to another, from one paragraph to another, or from one idea to another? So if you want to move from one sentence to the other one, or the paragraph, or from one idea to another, we use words and we call them transitional words, and we also call them transitional devices. So transitional devices link sentences and paragraphs together smoothly and is also a transitional device and is used to connect words, phrases or clauses to show a relationship between them. It signifies the addition, combination or continuation of ideas. So now we are clear about our transitional devices, the purpose they serve, and also Let's talk about some examples. So if you want to add something in your sentences to make a connectivity, we use words, transitional words like and, again, and then, besides, furthermore, nor, to, moreover, in addition, etc. For example, long ago, two friends, Arif and Akram, lived in a small village. So, long ago is our transitional word. It is telling us that it has happened long time ago. And also, we use the transitional word and to connect the two subjects together. We also use transitional devices or transitional words to show sequence. We use words like first, second, third, finally, consequently, or previously, etc. For example, after some time, pleased with their earnings, they planned to return home. So, after is telling us a transition from the rest of the story. Long ago, two friends, Arif and Akram, lived in a small village. So again, this is telling us a time, and it is transferring our sentence from one idea to another. For example, if you want to tell a story, you say first this happened, and then that happened, and finally that happened. So these words are actually linking your ideas and your sentences together. So there are so many transitional words that you can look up and learn about them and use them in your sentences, so that your sentences and paragraphs move smoothly on the paper or also in your speech. Now, transitional words are like traffic signs. These words tell the reader when to go forward, slow down, turn around, and stop, just like a traffic sign or traffic signal. In paragraphs, they guide the reader from one idea to the next. That's why they are used in arranging events in a chronological or in an organized manner. Now, they will tell us that when are we going to slow down, or when are we going to understand that all the story is linked together. And transitional devices or words, they act like bridges because they connect to different paragraphs, sentences, or ideas. They connect one idea to another, moving from one point to the next discussion or from one paragraph to the other. So they act like bridges, they connect, and that's why they're also called your linking words or linking devices. Now, there are a lot of different types of transitional words. Some are given over here to show emphasis. When you want to show emphasis, you will be using words like indeed, truly, of course, certainly, surely, and all these words. And to show time, words like before, then, once, next, last, at last, all these are used. These are the transitional words for showing illustrate, to illustrate something, and for adding something, you use all these transitional words. If you want to show contrast or opposition, you will be using these transitional words. And if you want to equalize things or showing an equality or similarity, you will be using all these given transitional words. So we have emphasis, time, to illustrate. If you want to add something, contrast something, or showing likeness or similarity, every kind of transitional words can be used. Now, we use transitional words to indicate sequence or order. For example, to show the beginning of your story or your narrative, you would say first, once upon a time, at the beginning. All these are showing an order of your writing. To show the middle part, you would say second, next, or then. All these words can be used. Or when you are at the end of your idea, your point, or your story, you will say finally, in the end, or at last. So all these will be used if you want to show your sequence in the writing. Now, here is a story in front of you. The transitional words are highlighted. Now, you have to read the story and study how the underlined transitional words were used. Now, imagine that there were no transitional words like these. Would you be able to understand the story better like you used to when we use transitional words? Now, for the hare and the tortoise story, how did the underlined words help you understand the story? So all these underlined words are our transitional words. They are telling you a sequence, a very good organization of events in a very smooth and chronological order. Now, there's something to ponder. Think about it. What would a clock be if it didn't have any numbers? It would be timeless. It has no purpose. So transitional words are used commonly in the stories to add meaning to the time element of the story. Now, we know that time is very important, not only when we are seeing time or observing it on the clock, but also in your stories, in your narrative, in speech or writing. You use the time element very carefully because we want to convey a story with the correct order and sequence. Now, here in front of you, you have some events that happened. Rearrange them in their correct order to complete the story. Then identify the transitional words used for each paragraph. Now, after reading all these three different passages, now think about it. Which one is coming first? What transitional word is telling us that which sentence should be on the top and then which will come after that? Now, here are your answers. You can pause the video and look at them. For your simulation, we added a link in the description and also in the PowerPoint presentation so that you can watch it later to learn more about transitional devices and transitional words. This is your classroom activity in which you have to read the text of the lesson and find the transitional devices. Now, let's talk about the worksheet over here. It is used to put your ideas, put your learned concept into practice. This will be handed over to you by your teacher or instructor for practice. For your homework, you have to write a short paragraph of 5 to 7 sentences on one of the following topics. Be sure to use at least 3 different transitional devices and 2 conjunctions in your paragraph. The topic is the benefits of regular exercise. Now, we are here at the end with our resources. They are available in the description of the video. You can access them easily. All these resources are available. Now, my dear learners, thank you for listening. I hope that now we have achieved our students' learning outcome. You are very much familiar with transitional devices, what they are used for, how do we use them, different kind of transitional words, along with a lot of practices that we did using our reading. So till the next video lesson, Allah Hafiz.